These programmes ought to be renamed Gullible's Travels. I keep meeting fishermen who shoot me a line. They tell me their river or their stretch of coast is heaving with fish, and I'd set my heart on a plump bass. But as the tide ebbed and the sun set, I returned home with just a bucket of seaweed, known here as lava bread. I was going to open this section of the programme with the much maligned Welsh rabbit, but I couldn't be bothered, because when I came into Collins Wine Bar here in the Mumbles, and the Mumbles mean things like that, you see, really nice things work on it, I was impressed by the fact that this isn't only a little wine bar, it's a place where great artists used to come. Winfred Vaughan Thomas used to come here. He wrote to me once because he had trouble with his pollux, and I replied and told him how to cook them properly. And Kingsley Amis comes in here quite frequently, and he wrote one of his books here in the Mumbles, which became a fabulous film, Only Two Can Play. Remember those bloody stags on the walls and Peter Sayre and all that stuff. Anyway, we haven't come there for all that. We've come here for something very special. Cockles. Now, Richard, right in on the cockles here. Now, these aren't little things in jars of vinegar that have been packed in Holland 500 miles away and left stewing on some supermarket shelf for 10 years. These have been picked. What are you doing there? These have been picked. Now, you didn't do that right, did you? Back on here. These have been picked by loving, caring people. They haven't been salted or vinegared. They're absolutely fresh. Come up to me, Richard, please. They're sweet and succulent and delicious. The other brilliant things that come from the Mumbles and around here is stuff called lava bread. Lava bread, look at this, Richard. You've seen how we do this already. This has been cooked for about 6 hours, and it's kind of like slimy spinach. It's very, very nice and very, very good for you. Colin here makes a fabulous little dish, a gratin of cockles and lava bread. It's very easy to do. So, Richard, pay attention. Spin around the ingredients. Some simply poached cockles, some fresh breadcrumbs with a bit of wine gron, Welsh cheese grated into it, some lava bread, and a bit of garlic butter, which I've got down here. OK, can you look at me a bit, please? I am talking to my customer. We're having a lot of trouble with Richard today. Always gets excited. Anyway, here we go. We put a bit of lava bread into one of these little gratin dishes, which is very simple like that. We put lots of lovely, lovely fresh cockles on, like that. We sprinkle our breadcrumbs and cheese over the top, like that. A little bit of garlic butter, and up to me again, please, Richard. We pop that under the grill. Now, you all know what a grill is, so you don't need to even look at that. That goes into the grill for 3 or 4 minutes. It's golden brown, crunchy and delicious. In the meantime, have a look at this. It's really interesting. And do pay attention, because I'll be asking questions afterwards, OK? Now to the gentle art of cockling. Well, it should be the gentle art. All you need is a humble rake, a plastic bucket for the filling of, a vast expanse of unpolluted shoreline, and a sixth sense of knowing where the little monkeys are hiding. But I didn't know that you also needed a licence, and I think it's a bit mean, not to say excessive, of the White Fish Authority to call up the cocklebusters in their specially developed twin-oyster UB-40s to drive these worthy citizens from the beaches. One of the important things about us, you know, when we're making a television programme, we don't interrupt their business by locking the door and closing it down for 3 days, and customers must come in, life must carry on. That's so, isn't it, ladies? Absolutely true. Anyway, you've enjoyed the cockle beds, you've enjoyed all of that, and I have to tell you, you know, when I first came to Swansea, I quite frankly thought the Mumbles was a television puppet show. But never mind. Anyway, we must now go back to the very important thing, lava bread. Imagine, like the guy who first tasted an oyster. Who was the first man to eat a piece of lava bread, and why did he do it? Anyway, enough of that. You'll find the answer on page 94, as usual. We've stewed the lava bread for about 6 hours. It's been rinsed in water, and as you remember, I put it into a little gratin dish with the cockles on top, the breadcrumbs, the wine-grown cheese on top, garlic butter, and now, about 5 minutes later, and 4 or 5 bottles later, it is, in fact, ready. Right, and the only proof of all of our... Ow! Look, my fingers again. Close up on that, Richard. I really want them to see it sizzling. Look, it's beautiful, it's delicious, it's golden, it's crunchy, and I'm going to have some. Now you can look at me, because they really love me eating, these people. Great, isn't it, ladies? Yes. Absolutely supreme.
Oh, boy.
Anyway, that's really good. These are my new friends. Television's a great way to pull birds. On to the next sequence for you. I'm going to enjoy myself. Anyway, what are we going to do tonight?